Welcome to Top of the Line. This is the podcast version of our YouTube show. New episodes every Monday and Friday where we talk about audio and hi-fi related themes.
If you have any requests for a future episode, send us an email, totl@abyssheadphones.com.
How many caps they got in there?
I don't know what they're using to step up to that. Is it a ladder?
It's DC, right?
Yeah, but
It'd be so
what are they
easy.
using to step up? You think
It's
they're
got
using a
probably
multiplier,
ladder.
a ladder
I
multiplier?
would,
Yeah, well, we opened
That'd be
those.
affected by the input.
Yeah, but then you regulate and filter. We have another viewer submitted question.
Woohoo.
This time from Jonas in Germany.
I
Well,
think he's in Munich. Probably not.
he doesn't specify. But if you too have a question you'd like us to answer on a future episode, you can send it to us, totl@abyssheadphones.com. Maybe we'll answer it.
Tee up to Munich. We missed you guys last year.
Yeah, maybe we'll go next year. We'll have to see what that's back on.
This year.
This year.
I think it's
Yeah.
in the
Well, this year
I
is
think it's
next
in
year.
fall.
Maybe.
We'll see how it goes, but I'd
Yeah.
like to go.
I don't think we're safe enough yet, but yeah.
Give it a few months.
The
Maybe
problem is
it'll
that
smooth over.
jet plane, 9 hours on a plane issue.
Well, there's other problems.
Even
as
though it's a
well,
very
but, yeah.
nice German flight, you know.
It is nice.
Lufthansa.
Yeah.
It's very nice. They
Something
give you the
like
hot towels to put on your.
First of all, thank you very much for your great videos. Well, you're welcome. I have some headphones myself, including a Diana. Ooh, fancy. Now for my question. What is the best way to store headphones? And that's not a bad one. We've gotten questions like that from time to time. A little bit easier to answer it in a video rather than one-on-one discussion in an email.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a hot topic in some regards on forums. Some people say, I throw them in a ditch and I don't worry about it. Other people got like little blankets to cover it, little houses or cases and stuff. They're real neat and tidy. They keep
Steel
them away
safe.
from everything. Yeah,
Put them in a safe. Yeah.
big differences here. And I see the merits to both points
We should
there.
make an Abyss headphone safe.
Abyss headphones safe.
Yeah. Start machining one of those.
Okay.
Safe.
Second
Yes.
thought, we got to make headphones.
Maybe
Yeah.
not on that.
All right, let's get that.
But storing your headphones.
And by the way, we should mention, everyone talk about making headphones. We are a bit on a back order situation here, hardcore, because we've got just slammed through the holidays and it just keeps
Yeah.
going. So
Yeah.
we appreciate everyone for being patient who has headphones on order, because we're doing the best we can, and it's the machines only run so fast. In fact, we're just adding 2 more machines in a few weeks.
We're working on it.
Yeah, we're
It is a
working on
work
it.
in progress.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it
thanks
doesn't happen overnight.
thanks for the patience. Yeah, we unfortunately can't increase the production speed quickly, but we're working on it.
So storing headphones, I think it's highly dependent on the headphone type. Typically, your lower end headphones, your very cheap headphones, the stuff you see in the consumer space, $50 and below, that sort of thing, it's hardened to the typical rigors of consumer use and abuse. It's kind of made just to be hucked in a bag and not thought about. It tends to be more tolerant to dirt ingress and things of that nature because it needs to be.
AKA something your typical college student would be carrying around in a
Right.
book bag.
Right. Now,
Throw
Toss
it in
it in.
there. Yeah.
typically there is a penalty paid for that. A lot of times it performs worse because of all the protections put in place to stop stuff from getting in. That also tends to impede the back wave of the driver from getting out, even if it is an open back headphone. But the challenges there are making something that is open back that doesn't have the difficulty of dealing with the back wave of a closed back headphone, but yet doesn't allow stuff to get in, dirt, whatever, hair, all kinds of debris, metallic particles and stuff. And things like electrostatic headphones, they're especially sensitive to this.
They're
Since-
probably the most sensitive to,
Probably
to
the
their
most.
environment,
yeah.
because the diaphragm's so thin.
Well, most people that have them do know this, because I know a lot of them are like, they have their enclosures for them, and they're like, they keep them in there.
Yeah, they keep them covered.
Yeah.
Due to the simple nature of how they work by design, they're very, very sensitive to dirt, atmospheric issues.
We must have brought this up in a past video, because one of the commenters mentioned that that he had electrostats and some construction work began next door or something like that.
Yeah.
Within a month, his headphones were screwed up and he had to get them repaired. Right. So I'm not picking on electrostats. I'm just saying that the people that don't know that or know that, most people I think that have electrostats know that.
They
like you
seem to
said.
know, yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't, you find out the hard way. And dust and particulates in particular really aren't good for anything.
Well, no.
Some drivers are more tolerant than others.
Yeah, like a dynamic, I don't think would care about it.
They're more
so
willing to
much,
tolerate it, but still, it depends on the design. You get it in the wrong spot,
Well, that's
and you could
true.
impede motion, or
Yeah.
you could interfere
rubbing,
with the function. You
cause
could
a
cause
rubbing,
rubbing on
noise.
yeah. You could if you get it jammed in the little slot
Yeah.
where the voice coil is, you could have a bad day.
The biggest thing we've seen The only thing we've really seen with ours is, I think we had maybe 2 pairs so far we've come back, and there were very fine metal particles
Yeah.
that got attracted by the magnet. And I don't know. We didn't know. We don't know. We didn't know the reason for it.
Yeah, nobody ever tells us.
Seems like
I don't know.
the customer, you mentioned it to the dealer, the customer, and they don't seem to even know how it happened either. But,
Yeah.
it's funny, but somewhere there was particulate, metal, iron particulate. I mean, maybe they were cutting something at some point, or
Yeah.
they laid them down on a table that had it.
It doesn't take much, really.
You know?
I mean, it's just usually you don't have metal laying on a table.
Yeah.
But if you do, yeah.
Well, I think that's where you don't really know where
Yeah.
it's coming from, because,
Right.
like, it's not really a mess. Like you
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like you're sitting there with a chop saw cutting steel, right? But
Right.
somewhere along the way, this headphone found that. And
Right.
it's going to attract it, and it impedes the motion of the diaphragm. It basically, the little metal particles pin
Yeah,
themselves
pins it.
between
So
the
they
diaphragm.
still work. It just does there's no bass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Typically, the bass drops out.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's rare. And,
Yeah.
You try to avoid metallic particles getting near
so
your headphones.
metals are an issue.
Yeah, because with pretty much any design, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some are more susceptible than others, but for the most part, any type of small debris that could get through screens and meshes and stuff like that, that's dangerous. So if you're near any type of metal grinding, or maybe you do some sort
Sanding.
of sanding of that nature, that's an issue. Yeah, you want to keep it away from that.
Or what's that thing where you it's a little board game and you got a magnet and you make a face out of it? That's the old guy and you put
Yeah,
the
right,
magnet
yeah.
on
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
What's that called?
What
I
is
don't
that
know.
called?
I forgot what that's
It's
called.
like the face with the red noise and
Yeah.
nose. You can move the metal, the
yeah,
iron
it's like
particles around.
little iron particles
Yeah.
and like a plastic thing. There's
Yeah.
a magnet on a
If your
stick.
kid busts that open, get the headphones away from
Yeah.
it. That's a problem.
So it depends on the environment.
Yeah.
Some people have very, very clean environments, and then you could just have your headphones wherever, nothing to worry about. If you have very dirty environments, it can be a concern. But the trouble is, it matters what's in the dirt. If you just have a dusty room, well, that's not inherently an issue. Dust isn't typically magnetic, but sometimes
Yeah.
depends on the
Magnetic dust,
constituent
It
particles.
does. Sounds like Mars.
Yeah.
It's very possible. So
Yeah. What a brutal situation. Yeah. Don't listen to your headphones out and about on Mars.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That could be a problem.
it could be a problem.
Yeah.
Best practice, try to keep any headphone clean. That's a good idea. I think anyone would agree with that.
You want to store it in usually a clean, dry place.
Yeah, keep them away from stuff that's going to make a lot of whatever. It's
much-
going to make a lot of
pretty much
dust.
where the
make a lot
electronics
of ruckus.
Don't use any cleaners on them, because then that's kind of like potential to contaminate your headphones
Yeah.
with
right.
a cleaner.
That is
yeah.
a thing we've seen a time or two as well.
Yeah.
If you keep it away from stuff, there's no reason to spray a cleaner on the product. And I see almost no advantage to spraying a cleaner on a headphone. Typically, that only causes issues. Directly spraying any product of any kind, even if it's water on a headphone, is typically very much discouraged. You should avoid it.
Yeah.
You always want to, if you absolutely must clean a headphone, most people will recommend spraying something like water on a cloth and then wiping a very lightly dampened cloth on the product to clean it off. You don't want to saturate anything. You don't want to soak it. That's the case for any headphone. You really don't want to get them wet. You don't want to spray any chemicals of any sort. I mean, maybe dihydrogen monoxide.
Unless they're made for waterproof. Notice they're called waterproof headphones.
waterproof.
Do they make those for like scuba
Yeah.
divers?
Well, they're made for swimmers.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Stuff
Well,
like
there's
that.
varying degrees of waterproof.
We never took one of those apart. What the hell are those made like?
I don't know.
Just a dynamic Mylar driver?
and they like seal it around typically.
Yeah.
So the driver's exposed.
All right.
But it's typically sealed around the enclosure so that the entire back structure is sealed, and the only thing exposed is the front side of the driver, because obviously it has to be. It has to move air.
Yeah.
So water will still get in and affect the sound.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's kind of like your
Good,
phone.
but-
You ever get
yeah.
water in the speaker? It
No.
sounds bad.
Sounds
Oh, I
awful.
bet it does. I was
But
gonna say, it
eventually
must
the water
sound
goes
like
away.
crap.
I mean, it handles it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So they don't
right.
actually make a seal, you don't think, to the head for the swimmer? It gets
Well,
water.
they usually
Well, they
like
probably
earbuds and
attempt to
stuff.
do that,
Oh,
but
you
it's
know.
not going to be perfect.
Yeah. It seems silly to try to listen to music while you're swimming.
I mean,
yeah.
some people do.
On your head. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you can get away with it.
some attempt to make a
Well,
seal.
earbuds make sense, I guess, because you can kind of seal the water out of your ears, too. Which
Yeah.
is kinda
Right.
nice. Yeah. It kind of makes sense.
yeah, you're not wearing like full size headphones in a pool.
You got some pretty nice fitting earbuds.
A little off
Yeah.
topic though. That's more or less designed to function the way you would expect. That's designed to fit that purpose. It's
Right.
designed to be waterproof. They're not worried about the sound quality directly. They're trying to get the best sound quality they can while being waterproof. generally speaking, in the high end, water resistance isn't a high feature because it's very impractical to do.
It's unheard of, actually. It's not,
right.
It's
It would be
not-
very
it's
challenging
not
to
an
make a
engineering,
world-class headphone that's
It's
waterproof.
not on the tick box of the engineering.
Right? And for most
decisions.
people, it
Yeah,
doesn't
that's not a
even
problem
matter.
because usually we're talking about big, bulky headphones.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be taking them to the beach anyways. you know?
Probably not. No.
I mean, if it rains out or something, plus, again, you should try to put them away if you can. Protect them.
Most
You're-
headphones will tolerate water.
I mean, they'll be
we
all
should
right.
probably note, but
They'll be all
it's
right.
not something you want to.
Yeah, water's not
Frequently
brutal
get
to 'em,
wet.
but it's not something you want to. Yeah, and if
Right.
they do get wet, you want to put them in a warm area where they can dry out. I'm not talking boil them in oil
Yeah,
or
well-
anything, but put them in a warmer area if you can, or in this somewhere where it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Allow them to dry before you use them.
Right.
We
If you-
should note
If your
though,
cables are connected, disconnect the cables because if any water's trapped in there,
if you
it
get
can
really
evaporate.
soaked.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something to think about. Same with phones or anything. You really
course.
should, something like that gets really, like you drop them in the toilet, turn it off, put it in a warm spot for a day or so, or take it to somebody who can deal with it and dry it out internally.
Even if it says it's water resistant or waterproof.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Although I don't believe any manufacturer says waterproof
No?
on their phones
No.
because
For
that's very
phones, no,
misleading.
yeah, they can tolerate water, but they're not like
Yeah,
just
they're
do
really
that.
made for like splash resistance,
Right.
not dunk resistance. Although they claim ratings for that, that's under ideal conditions with a new phone.
The problem is
Over
age,
time,
yeah.
the gasket's
Yeah.
aged, the device bends around and flexes, and the seals could break, and
Yeah.
water could still get into the device.
Right. Because
Making
people
things
think,
waterproof is very
people think,
difficult.
oh, I took it out of the toilet, oh, it's fine, it's working, and then a day later it quits.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
quits real bad too, like it never works again.
Yeah, water seeps everywhere.
Yeah, and then it starts corroding traces inside real quickly.
Yep.
And
Big problem.
So evaporation is your friend at that point. You want to get it warmed up and turn it off.
Yeah, don't use it. Power it down.
Power it down. Yeah, and hope.
Hope.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, on a headphone. Yeah. So we recommend. I mean, it really, if you have a stand, a good idea is to have a headphone stand. Have a place where it's always kept. I like to use a mouse pad in some areas. Like on my desk, I got a mouse pad. I put it on the mouse pad. It protects it from scratching the desk. It protects the desk from something from scratching the headphone. So mouse pads are a good size for headphones, I find. And they're
Yeah.
kind of a nice surface, and you could always shake it off or clean the mouse pad. And we got the room stand made over in Europe, so it was designed specifically to just hold a 1266. And a gnome even likes to sit by it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, a stand's always a good place because it just kind of gets you in the habit of putting it in that one spot where it's pretty safe.
Yeah, where you're not like angle grinding something.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. If you're angle grinding anywhere in the house, good idea is to cover any headphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a really great idea.
Get it the hell out of there.
If you're doing
totally.
any grinding or sanding of metals,
You don't even want it in the same area.
keep it away, very much away.
Because you'd be surprised how far that stuff can travel.
yeah.
And, and you'd be surprised how good these magnets are at picking it up. So
Yes.
they're very strong.
Now, personally, I do some sanding and grinding of metals from time to time. My headphones are just laying out.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a problem, but we've seen a time or two where these things have caused issues. So, as a general rule, probably keep them away from metallic particles.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
All speakers.
One other thing to consider is extreme temperatures. Very cold usually is okay with most products, unless it's unusually extreme, like -50 plus maybe.
That's pretty cold.
Never
That's pretty
tested
cold.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not recommended, but extreme high temperatures can be a problem for a lot of devices.
Things get brittle at those temperatures.
They can, yeah.
Materials get very brittle. Yeah. Although I don't think you're going to be wearing open back headphones in Antarctica outside.
Probably not, but for storage, it's
It'd be
possible.
a bad idea.
In some climates, it's possible
That's
to see
true.
those temperatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try to avoid it, but it's not too
Well,
big of a deal.
we ship these things all over the world, and we've never seen an issue with that. Not how cold it gets in a UPS plane, or whatever.
Pretty chilly.
But
pretty
I imagine it
cold.
get pretty cold.
Yeah.
I've never seen that affected. So
That's true.
I don't know, but I don't know how cold that is. Like what's
You got the insulation value, though, of the box and the inner cart and
Yeah.
all that. So the actual temperature the headphone sees isn't going to be quite that low.
It's probably like 0 or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Need
fine.
to put a data logging thermometer in a box.
Yeah, right. See how
See-
cold it
see-
really
check
gets.
it out.
and make
Yeah.
a couple shipments around the
Yeah,
globe.
that'd be interesting. Should do
Be
that.
easy to do.
Like it's winter now. We could send it
Yeah.
next shipment to Europe. Just see what the hell, what it actually hits. Ask the
Okay.
dealer. Okay,
I wanted to
pull
do
out
that.
let's do that. It'd be cute.
All right.
We'll let everyone know how that turns out.
Yeah.
How cold does it get? How cold does it get on a UPS plane?
We need to ship one to the middle of Siberia or something like that.
Russia.
Yeah.
Right to Moscow. All right.
High temperatures can be an issue, though, in some circumstances. Depends on the headphone design, as usual. But if you're in a climate where it's very hot, you certainly don't want to leave high-end headphones like on the dash of a car or something like that, where you get the greenhouse effect. You get elevated temperatures well beyond the outdoor temperature. 100 degrees Fahrenheit isn't an issue. What's that in Celsius, 28 or something like that? That's not really an issue. But you guys start to get the extreme
Open flames.
Yeah, open
You know.
flames you should avoid. In very, very hot weather, maybe direct sunlight can be an issue with some designs, especially wood headphones. High temperatures, direct sunlight could dry the wood out and cause cracking or accelerate the rate at which you get cracking.
You want to try to keep the cables away from the kids, too.
Oh,
They'll play tug of war with them.
and a dog.
And vacuum cleaners.
Dog.
Vacuum
Yeah,
cleaners.
and some cats, too,
Some
like to
cats.
chew on cables. So,
Yeah.
if you can, coil the cables up and put them in a higher up or somewhere where
Yeah.
it's not attractive to animals. You know, although we haven't seen a cable yet, I don't think that was chewed on.
No, not really.
I guess they're not thick enough, or the headphone cables aren't really thick enough for them to want it. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen people have power cords and speaker cables chewed with their animals.
Well, and then you always got particulate in the air from things you're doing, smoking, vaping, whatnot.
Oh, yeah, we brought this up in a prior video.
Yeah, that could be a real issue. Turns out the little smoke particles you see in the air when you're vaping, that's actually a slightly caustic chemical that typically
Floating.
is corrosive.
It's waiting to land on something.
Right,
and-
so it's suspended in the air and it will land on your surroundings.
Like everything, evenly coating everything.
yeah, which is crazy when you think about it. It's not really the same as cigarette smoke. Well, cigarette smoke had tar. It was
Yeah.
the same thing.
Same thing.
I don't think it was very corrosive, but it certainly did. The old school cigarettes, I don't think they corroded electronics, but they put a layer of tar on things, which
Yeah. It's
would've-
conductive, I guess.
Probably slightly conductive.
yeah, I think it affected more things that were optical in nature,
Well,
tape,
that for
tape
sure,
decks,
That's the problem, yeah.
reel to reel,
Yeah.
anywhere where there needs to be surface contact or clarity. You know, where obviously a layer of tar would mess with windows. When you see people who are heavy smokers, their car windows, they don't clean them. The interior gets all covered up. But
Yep.
most vapors I see, most people vaping, I think they usually have the windows open in their car, so they're avoiding that. Which I don't know what would happen
Well,
if
you reduce it.
I guess if you vaped in the car, you wouldn't be able to see at some point, right?
Well-
How loud does that cloud hang? I don't know.
I don't know.
Depends how heavy of a user you are, I suppose.
Yeah, really.
But that's definitely something you want to stay away from. If you're vaping, especially heavily in a house or near your headphones, that's a bit of a predicament. You definitely want to cover
They
them.
need to be
And-
stored.
Yeah, it needs to be stored in a
different
case.
room.
Doesn't need to be entirely airtight, but you want to have some resistance to airflow. They need to be pretty sealed off.
Yeah, because in worst case scenarios, we've seen that affect them.
Yeah, it will
It's a
corrode
serious
all
layer-
sorts of
A
components.
serious layer of stuff builds up
Yeah.
on it over time.
I don't know of any headphone that's entirely immune to that too. It's probably one of the worst things you could do to a headphone that people actually do, short of like hucking them in the ocean or something like that.
And the
But-
electronics, too.
right.
So, yeah. I don't know about portable electronics. We don't really use that too often, but they're they're definitely not watertight. None of that stuff.
They're more sealed than open back headphones.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, but
But yeah,
it wouldn't take much water to mess them up.
no, it wouldn't.
Like one drop would be game over and
Yeah.
get
Depends on
inside.
where it goes.
Yeah. So that's an issue too. Same thing as
I
the
think most people are
phones.
aware water and electronics probably aren't
Yeah.
a great combination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Speaking of phones, though, even though the water doesn't get in, there's still like the lightning cable on like iPhones and stuff. Those contacts corrode and
Oh,
they
right.
stop working, even though it's not getting into the device. You know, you can
Yeah,
still
those
have-
charge cables don't like to get wet. They get a
No.
little wet, and the next thing you know, it ain't working right. You can't. It's not connecting to CarPlay in my car. It's not. Oh man, throw it out. You can't do anything about it.
No.
Can't clean it.
Yeah, it's common to see that on charge cables for especially iPhone where the contacts are flat now and you see the terminals, you see the little gold points. There's always that one like in the middle that's
Yeah.
corroded.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. You gotta
Well,
throw the
you
freaking
really need to
cable
clean
out.
it.
I
But,
tried.
yeah.
It's not reliable.
Not always, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but same with headphone cables. You've got contacts involved in that. So, like I said, if stuff like that ever gets wet, you're best to disconnect the cables and let air get at it for a while. Let it dry out because if you
Yep.
leave things connected,
it'll
the
stay
moisture
wet
sits.
forever.
Yeah, it's got nowhere to go. you got to allow evaporation to take its course. So open it up if you can, and leave away. Even remove the ear pads. Make sure there's no moisture underneath the ear pads, and just let it evaporate.
Yeah.
And we should probably mention too that in all those cases, don't stick anything in the slots, like on a planer. That's the worst thing you can do, because you'll manage to damage the drivers. Even if you're wiping with a cloth, don't get the cloth. Don't push the cloth into the slots. You don't want to hit anything. Keep it flush with the surface of the.
That's possible.
I think
There's really not much to it. Just try to keep them away from caustic chemicals, atmospheric corrosion.
So other than that, they're pretty durable. I mean, really, considering how many places in the world we have our headphones, we haven't really seen a lot of issues. And considering all the variables there are too, with weather,
Well,
and
yeah.
the way people treat their things, but some better or more than others. Really, I mean, other than like leathers wearing out or getting saturated with something, we haven't really seen anything that's detrimental to the headphone. A couple vaping issues.
It's pretty uncommon
So yeah, I mean, basically what we're saying is you guys are doing a good job with your headphones.
for the most part. Yeah.
Keep it up. Yeah. Other than that, we got to wrap this thing up. It's
Yeah.
time to get back to work. We got to make headphones. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Remember to email us at totl@abyssheadphones.com if you have any questions or want us to discuss something. Thanks. Take care.